Welcome to JP's Morning Brief. This is James. Hey, good morning, everybody. Here we go. Another busy day. A lot of stuff going on, as is. So this is my 30-minute rundown on some of the stories making news this morning. Welcome to the JP's Morning Brief. If you're not already a follower to the JPA channel, please click that follow button and give me a like by pressing that thumbs up button. And also, we do have a live chat. If you're on Rumble, you can chat with me. I'll either type it in or verbally say it over the air. I'm not talking to myself when I'm doing that because I've had a buddy of mine say, "Hey, who are you talking to?" I have nobody in the room with me right now. It's too early for people to be in this room right now with me. My wife's sound asleep in the other part of the house. But this is my studio. This is one of my podcasts I do in the morning time. And be on the lookout. I do shorts and stuff with Rumble now since I learned how to do it. So let's do this. Let's see. America 250. America 250. We have the raid at Nassau, Bahamas took start of the day as a 2-day battle in the Bahamas. It was the first time American troops and ships have ever did a raid and did amphibious landing because they landed U.S. Continental Marines on the shores of the Bahamas. That started today. It'll finish tomorrow, and their objective was to bring back as much gunpowder and munitions as possible to the war effort. And then we have general orders for March 3rd. This is no officer or soldier under any pretense is to be absent from his post without leave in writing from his brigadier general, who is not to grant liberty of running backwards and forwards from hence to Roxbury, but in very special cases. I will guard everything within the limits of my post and quit my post only when properly relieved. That is the first general order of every soldier. As it is not unlikely, but a contest may soon be brought on between the ministerial troops and this army, the general flatters himself that every officer and soldier will endeavor to give such distinguished proofs of his conduct and good behavior as becomes men fighting for everything that is dear and valuable to free men, remembering at the same time what disgraceful punishment will tend to contrary behavior. Every man's conduct will be marked by rewarded and punished accordingly, and cowardice is the most exemplar manner. The colonels and commanding officers of regiments are to see that their several regiments are properly told off, and the supernumerary officers so posted as to keep their men to their duty. Particular care is to be taken to prevent their firing at too great a distance, as one fire well aimed does more execution than a dozen at long shot. Aim small, miss small. But this is good advice. All wood cutting parties and etc. are to join their prospective regiments until further orders. The quartermaster general may draw the carbines out of the commissary stores and put them in the hands of the carpenters and such others as he shall think will use them to the best advantage, taking care to return them when called for. All arms in store fit for use may be delivered out of the adjutant general's order. The brigadiers are to see that the arms in their several brigades are disposed of to the best advantage, placing them in the hands only of such men that are fittest for duty, and that the spears are used as an occasion shall require to supply the defective arms. As has been suggested to the general, that many of the townspeople, influenced by zeal for the cause of their country, are inclined to throw aid in case the Army should be called to action. The General desires that they will, to prevent any kind of confusion or disorder, join different companies in several regiments as they choose or form themselves into distinct corps under officers of their own choosing and put themselves under the immediate command of some brigadier, that they may not be considered or act for as an independent company. Two companies of Colonel Thompson's Rifle Regiment are to march tomorrow evening to Roxbury with their blankets, arms, and 3 days of provisions ready dressed. The officer commanding the party will receive his orders from the Adjutant General. Colonel Hutchison and Colonel French's regiments are to march to Roxbury by sunrise on Tuesday morning with their blankets, arms, and 3 days provisions ready dressed. The battle is progressing. Boston shall be liberated. All right. That's some good stuff. Good stuff. All right. All right. So what do we got next? 6:36. We're doing pretty good. So I'm going to run through this. The Dalmatian Texas Burgers. Look, these guys make smash burgers and hot dogs right here in Copper's Cove. And all their stuff is homemade and fresh. They have a very good reputation, and they're open for lunch Tuesday through Saturday. Monday through Saturday, 11 to 2, and for dinner they're open Tuesday through Saturday, 5:30 to 7, unless they sell out. And they're located on the west side of Copper's Cove, on 190 behind Bush's Chicken. Come out and give them a try. Go for that armadillo burger you see in the top left-hand corner of that menu, right? Go for it. Check them out. They're great guys. See Stephen and Corey and ask them what's up, all right? All right, so now to the morning brief. Okay, Trump last night said that he will attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is a group of journalists, so-called journalists, that are out and about, and most of them condemn the president and everything he does. But he made an exception this year for the first time in many years to actually attend the dinner. I don't know why, but he's the president. He makes his own decision what he wants to do. And then due to medical reasons, Congressman Ryan Zienke said he will not run for re-election. He's a congressman. He's a two separate term congressman. He was in the Congress, then he became the Interior Secretary for the first President Trump administration. Then he got elected to Congress in 2022, got reelected once, and now he's going to retire this coming January due to medical reasons. All right. Yesterday afternoon, right before the JPA report came on, I was watching the news. There was 3 Medal of Honor ceremonies yesterday. It was for Command Sergeant Major Richardson, Master Sergeant Edmonds from World War II. Richardson was from Vietnam, and Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis was from Afghanistan. All 3 of them were very, very heroic, especially Master Sergeant Edmonds. I think that's how Edmonds from World War II. How brave that NCO was when he put his life in jeopardy to protect Jewish soldiers that were amongst the POWs in the German World War II camps. Read about it. You will be very impressed. He passed away in 1985, so he did survive World War II. Sergeant Major Richardson was present at the ceremony, and he was an infantryman during Vietnam. Read his stuff about how he exposed himself to fire, was wounded by a sniper, and refused all medical care until soldiers were taken care of. And then the most impressive was the one with Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis. You know, from what the president said, that he just threw himself in between uh, a suicide bomber and a Polish officer, a lieutenant, and he protected the life of the Polish officer. Well, what came about was I was like, man, and that's pretty good to get the Medal of Honor for that. But the actions this NCO did, the Afghans breached their compound at Fab Hamzi in in Afghanistan, and he took a fire team and continuously interdicted and engaged and destroyed the enemy as they breached, and so they wouldn't make it further into the interior of the fob. And it was involved multiple VBIDs, which is a vehicle-borne IED, and suicide vest bombers, uh, homicide bombers, whatever you want to call them. He shot one, took him down, went to disarm him. Noticed he had a suicide bomb, put himself in between himself and that Polish army officer and gave his life. Uh, very, very heroic. And his parents looked like they were crying in the ceremony, which I understand. But it was really good. And then with Iran, this is the rundown of what we have with Iran right now. Um, so the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia was hit by drones yesterday. Iran continues to attack across the region in Israel and Jordan and Qatar and Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. They hit the compound, took the refinery offline in Saudi Aramco. Uh, they don't have a navy now because it all got sunk. They got little patrol boats, which are set, and they can still be an effective offensive weapon. But yeah, so pretty much their entire navy's at the bottom of the ocean. Um, Israeli forces had to enter into southern Lebanon because Hezbollah uh, kind of figured that they didn't have enough of what happened about a year ago when they lost their entire leadership. So they decided they want a little bit more and started attacking Israel again over what's going on in Iran. So Israel is going to take care of business on the ground in southern Lebanon to protect their citizens. Um, it ain't even going to be a fight. I, and the people in Lebanon can live in peace. Just give up the fight and just live peacefully. Let your kids live to be an old age and just enjoy life and be peaceful. But you got people out there that just want to wreak havoc and kill everyone in sight, which is wrong. But Israel will take care of business and extinguish that little flame. Um, Steve Witkoff said that Iran told him during the negotiations that Iran has enough uranium to make 11 bombs, or they did have 11 nuclear bombs. One of the two. I have to look more into that one. Um, President Trump, late last night, said he wishes the United Kingdom was a better friend than they used to be to the United States, which is true, which is caused by the immigration influx into all of Europe. You have such a huge Muslim influence across Western Europe that they have no other choice to act like that. You see who's in the parliament and who represents the British people in as an MP and be members of parliament, and you can see the why and the reasons what they're doing. Uh, they don't want us to use until like yesterday. We don't want you to use British air bases to attack Iran. Well, what happened to be part of NATO and backing us? Um, I mean, this Article 5. I mean, yeah, the U.S. wasn't attacked, but they were about to be attacked, and I think it was the vice president or Marco Rubio said. Um, we were about to sustain massive casualties because Iran was getting ready to attack us. And we had to do a preliminary attack to protect the U.S. interests and U.S. citizens, and that's what we did. But 11 bombs, that would have been devastating. One of those bombs detonate over Israel, it can launch them back into the Stone Age. What happens if one of those nuclear weapons were put on top of a long range surface to surface missile or a ICBM or a Scud and want to make it all the way to the United States to detonate? That's all we needed. You have all these naysayers in Congress and, oh no, we're marching ourselves into another war. They need to look on the other side and what the other side is doing to us. And we're protecting. The president has the right and duty to protect us from everyone else. And we need to get behind our president and support him. He's going to do the briefings. His people already did one. He explained himself. I didn't get the statement I might put that on the JPA report. But he has up to 60 days to give a written report to Congress. So he'll do that. All right. Let's see. That's my updates from the Operation Epic Fury right now. And now for the rest of the news. All right, here we go. Don't forget, as we're watching, so we're halfway done already. See how fast this goes. Before I do that part, I'm going to talk about Texas, because in 15 minutes the polls open here in Texas. Okay, it's primary day in Texas. These are who I am supporting in the Texas primary, who I already voted for. Governor Abbott for governor. Lieutenant Governor Patrick for lieutenant governor. Commissioner Agriculture, Commissioner Sid Miller. Attorney General Aaron Rice. Comptroller Christy Craddock. Railroad Commissioner Beau French. And for Congressional District 31, I'm supporting Raymond Hamden. Get out there and vote. The polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I did miss one thing under the U.S. Senate. I am supporting Wesley Hunt. Those are my recommendations for the primary. Get out there and get her done. And for the rest is there's a large amount of propositions on the ballot. We have 10 of them here in Texas. Go through them. I like all of them except for the first one, which needs to be modified. Okay, with the property tax dispersal, because there's a way we need to come up with a way to fund local cities and governments. Right, because the state helps fund the schools, but they can't fund local. Okay, so we have to figure out a way around that one. And then, just so we know, so see, this is the Texas part right here. Closing comments. All right, we'll go with so the Attorney General's race here in Texas. We have four major candidates. We have Chip Roy. He says Texas is at a crossroads, facing existential fights against Islamics and Marxists attacking our way of life. We cannot afford inexperience, complacency, or lukewarm politicians trying to buy the election. Texas needs an independent-minded conservative with deep legal experience who has proven he will deliver alongside President Trump to fight for Texas and win for Texas. You have Aaron Rice. He says Texas should choose me as their next attorney general because I am, as Ken Paxton said when he endorsed me to succeed him, the only candidate who is fully vetted, battle-tested, proven, and ready to be the attorney general as shown in my record driving our state's Texas versus Biden docket and spearheading our most consequential battles on border security, immigration, big tech, COVID tyranny, energy and the environment, pro life, Second Amendment, religious liberty, free speech, and election integrity. That record leading legal troops into legal combat to deliver legal victories for our values is why President Trump called me a true MAGA attorney and warrior for our Constitution. And this is why Texas can have total confidence that I'll defeat left in court as the next Texas Attorney General. Then you have MAGA Mays Middleton. That's what he called himself on all of his campaign commercials. Choice one, Mays Middleton. Someone President Trump said has a record on conservative issues second to none, and called a MAGA champion who has a history of winning, defeating the left, and advancing the conservative agenda. Choice two, Chip Roy, a failed D.C. congressman who is retreating from Washington and has wasted the last decade fighting Trump. That's what he said. And then you have Joan Huffman. I have decades of proven results as a prosecutor putting violent criminals behind bars, a criminal district judge delivering justice, a state senator authoring uh, tougher on crime laws, strengthening border security, and defending conservative values. I will put Texas families first by aggressively working with law enforcement to prosecute criminals, career criminals, stopping the cartels from radical Islamic extremists and rooting out fraud, delivering real courtroom wins and state leadership you can trust. Those are this is all from the Texas scorecard, all right? Those are the four candidates that are running for Texas Attorney General. Uh, and then the other really big one is between the Agricultural Commission. That's between Sid Miller, who is endorsed by President Trump, and you have Nate Sheets, who has been endorsed by Governor Abbott. I voted for Sid Miller. Sid puts it like this in his closing statement. We're at 6:53. We're going good. So Sid Miller said in his closing statement, I have delivered real results for Texas agriculture, standing firm with President Trump on securing our border and fighting for our conservative values. But Trump's endorsement isn't just about what I've done, it's about what we'll do next. In my next term, I will continue to aggressively defend our farmers and ranchers, opposing data centers on agricultural land while increasing the size of our cattle herds so every Texas family can afford beef while our ranchers make a real living. And I will keep fighting to protect our precious water resources to keep Texas growing and prosperous. Nate Sheets says, under the current leadership, the Texas Agriculture Commission has been plagued by scandal. Wow, Texas loses 68 farms a week, 550 acres of farmland a day, and families grow sicker from the food we eat. It's time for accountable conservative leadership that delivers real results. I built America's largest branded honey company from a single backyard hive through hard work and faith in God's providence. And that's why every conservative watchdog group, from the True Texas Project to the True Eagle Forum, have endorsed me to restore integrity and fight for the Texas farmers and values. Okay, so those are uh, just two of the big offices that people are running for. I voted for Sid Miller. I like his closing statement too. It makes complete sense. Nothing against Nate Sheets because he is an effective conservative politician, but Sid Miller he's been out there. He's proven as a state representative, and as our agricultural commissioner. Uh, give your vote to him too, okay? We are almost out of time. Um, just one more thing I wanted to talk about outside of Texas, because a lot of y'all that follow me aren't from Texas, but hey, we'll forgive you. Uh, so another big news that came out yesterday was that the Supreme Court of the United States blocks California's ban on notifying students' parents about gender transitions. The Supreme Court, that means Gavin Newscum got spanked. Uh, the Supreme Court on Monday cleared the way for California schools to notify parents if their children want to change their gender identity without approval from the student amid a challenge against the Golden State's ban on so-called forced outing of transgender students. The court granted an emergency appeal to a conservative legal group, the Thomas More Society, blocking, at least for now, a state law that prohibits automatic parental notification requirements if students change their gender expression or pronouns at school. The Thomas More Society praised the decision as the most significant parents' right ruling in our generation. Two sets of Catholic parents represented by the legal group that argued that the state law signed by Governor Gavin Newsom in 2024 caused schools to mislead them and secretly facilitate the students' gender transition. All right, so that is a major win for parents, for the Trump administration, for the Thomas More Society, and like I said, for parents. Right. All right. So um, as we close out this session um, of the morning brief, I'm gonna show y'all I do have social media. If y'all have never seen it, as y'all are clicking the follow button and that like button, y'all can follow me on X at James Pierce Jr. You can follow me on Facebook, or as some of us call Fakebook, YouTube or ScrewTube, the JP8 Report 67, and True Social. I'm at James A. Pierce. You can send me an email at jp8report@gmail.com also. All right. We do simulcast live always on Rumble. That's my headquarters. And we simulcast live out to Fakebook and ScrewTube also. And I've been working on X. I can't figure out what's going on with it, but it does not go through. I've already republished it again, but it still won't update. So I got to figure that one out. Um, thank y'all, everyone that's been interacting with me either by email or on the live chat. Um, I'm doing this Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 7 Central, and then I do the actual JPA report. I do the JPA report from 12 to 1 every day, and I'm going to start doing some Rumble premiums also. All right. We are almost out of time. It's 6:58 now. It's almost 6:59. All right. So any questions or anything? Remember, if you're from Texas and you're watching this today, go vote in the Republican primary. That's our future. Keep it up. Defeat the Democrats at their own game. Let's push some seriously high numbers today and show them that Texas is red and it will stay red always. Long live Texas. All right, so I'm going to do the raid. And there we go, right there. I'm all ready. So I will see y'all at noon today. All right, I'm initiating the raid right now. The raid is initiated. Check y'all later. I'm out. Enjoy Vince.